We've crushed fascism before, and we'll crush it again.
Oh my God. Let's talk about Glastonbury and white middle class people.
As an Irish woman and as someone who loves this country. Sorry.
Take your time.
Hello everyone, it is Jack. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, hello, welcome to the family. I'm going to take this moment to ask you to please subscribe. I'm actually pleading here. I know a lot of you watch my content, but are not subscribed, over 60%. So please, if you're one of those people, take this opportunity now, and that will help boost my content out to as many people as possible. And while you're at it, hit the like button. You know you want to.
Sorry.
And with that said, let's get back into it. So recently, Andrew Doyle wrote a book called The End of Woke. Sometimes the conversation seems to be geared towards the idea that we've reached peak woke, woke is failing, we're on the decline. And there's times when I really do agree with that. But then I see situations like Glastonbury 2025, and honestly, it feels quite bleak. And with all the controversy coming out on free speech, Palestine, etc., and these artists, it fills me with both a sense of hopelessness, but also a bewilderment on what the hell is going on and how the discourse is so overwhelmingly polarized at this stage. It is a little bit unsettling. So what the hell is Glastonbury, if you didn't know, especially for my American viewers? It is one of the largest festivals in the world. It happens in the summer in the UK. Over 200,000 people. The tickets just keep getting more and more expensive. So I think people can pay upwards of £400 for a 5-day festival. But looking at the crowd, you can definitely see this is where a lot of middle class people convene. And there's nothing wrong with that. But what's amusing of what we'll get into today is that you look at the crowd, and for all their politics, identity politics, and obsession over race, they are quite a homogenous group, right? Not necessarily rich, but earn a decent paycheck. And I think that's important to consider when we look at the sort of stereotypical politics of this group. The first thing I saw was this installation led by donkeys, this insane hard left, far left group, whatever you want to call them. It is a big mural with lots of people you'll recognize. The whole idea behind this, I guess, is that they're going to send these people to space. Let's see a little overview.
J.K. Rowling has responded to a mural in which she is depicted being sent to Mars, which appears in one of the venues at this year's Glastonbury Festival. The Harry Potter author is portrayed alongside other notable figures such as Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and Mark Zuckerberg. She is seen smoking a cigar and holding a glass of wine, in reference to the celebratory picture she posted following the UK Supreme Court ruling on the definition of a woman. The installation is created by a political campaign group led by donkeys in collaboration with Block 9, one of Glastonbury's queer areas. Various politicians and billionaires are pictured sporting spacesuits, boarding a rocket with Elon Musk inside. An accompanying sign reads, "The tech bros want to go to Mars, so we're sending them there." There's room on the rocket for a few more souls, so they're being joined by Trump, Netanyahu, Vance, Farage, and Rowling. Just some of the people who in recent years have made life on Earth more difficult for the rest of us. Writer Julie Bindel took to X after the installation was unveiled to say, "I mean, J.K. Rowling has long been a lesbian icon, but this takes it up a notch or two." Rowling responded to her and said, "I'm really confused. Am I supposed to feel insulted? That's the coolest I've ever looked in my life." Alongside the mural is a Tesla car with a license plate fascism, decimated under the weight of a storage unit. The car was crushed by 98-year-old war veteran Ken Turner in a tank and then transported to the festival.
We've crushed fascism before, and we'll crush it again.
Oh my God. So that was highly enjoyable. But just a side note there, I've never seen Julie Bindel with long hair. So I was genuinely shocked when I saw that because I've not seen that clip already. But what I find funny about this is the grouping of the people. And it just shows you the very simple-minded thinking. Who would ever put J.K. Rowling and Netanyahu in the same camp? One is head of the government of Israel, super controversial, accused of war crimes. J.K. Rowling is an author of a beloved children's book and critical on trans ideology. But in their world, grouping everyone together works because if you're not in our camp, you're in that camp. But a lot of effort to go into crushing that Tesla car. They use these terms so much, Nazi, fascism. In my opinion, the politics of these people are far more like fascism than that of my own.
We've crushed fascism before, and we'll crush it again.
Or pretty reasonable people who think that sex is real, that we don't want open borders, and millionaires are actually good for the economy and help us grow the economy. This is all just based on bitterness, resentment. My issue with all of this, right? Festivals, of course, have always been sort of a countercultural thing. So naturally, of course, you will get some sort of politics going in there, right? So I do have sympathy towards that, and I don't think you should have to be completely shielded shielded from all politics when you go to a festival. But you can just see how far the dial has moved, because in 2022, I went to a festival in Bulgaria called Meadows in the Mountains. Super kind of hippie festival. Even then, there was nothing really political about it. There was lots of environmental stuff in terms of the facilities being sustainable. And the worst thing about it were those toilets. Let's just say some of the stages smelled really bad. But apart from that, it was kind of spiritual. I could just not imagine that festival on today, because it would probably be absolutely insane. If I was going to Glastonbury, I just find this far too in your face. It indicates for me the narcissism behind woke ideology, behind progressive authoritarianism. What I can't stand about this is how presumptuous the whole thing is. They just assume blindly that pretty much everyone coming to our festival is going to agree with us. But if you truly value diversity, real diversity, you should understand that people have different perspectives. You can't seem to get it into their brain that actually having different ideas is a good thing. I can imagine if you went to this festival, even if you were not right-wing or in this case centrist, if you were just kind of a normie that wanted to go and enjoy some music, I would find it quite tedious and tiresome that I have to constantly be bombarded by politics. Lord knows that all the festival goers would have raised a lot of these issues, talked about trans issues, talked about politics. If I was one of those people and I disagreed with them, you'd kind of spend the whole weekend just zipping up, unless you have a very open-minded group. And when people obviously objected to this, the Glastonbury founder said, go elsewhere if you don't like our politics. The 89-year-old openly said, I think people that come here are into all of these things. So see the presumptuousness. People that don't agree with our politics, the event can go somewhere else. The sheer arrogance of that for me, I wouldn't go to Glastonbury now. It's too big. I never want to camp again in my life. But if you want to put on such a big festival, which is clearly geared towards people who can only afford it, you're already excluding a lot of people. And then you're just saying, if you don't agree with us, F off. It is so arrogant. One day, you may find yourself on the other side of that debate and you're not going to be too happy. And I still believe in the general point that center people, center right people, even center left people seem to be far more equipped at actually treating left-wing people, progressives, with respect and kindness and just allowing them to be themselves and hold their own views. Whereas a lot of the authoritarianism, I'm not going to speak to you, I'm not going to be your friend, I'm canceling you, that's all coming from their side and it's completely hypocritical. This festival was home to more flags than I've ever seen in my life. And you'll notice that you don't tend to see the UK flag anywhere. So that really tells you something. My God, it is hella ugly. And you see some festival goers such as Gary Lineker, who was axed from BBC for an anti-Semitic post, and the far left MP Zara Sultana, who does my head in. Jade Thirlwall, one of the members of Little Mix, performed at the festival. And let's see what she had to say.
And I want you to shout you back to me, okay? Are you ready? Like low battery. Smelly toilet. Reform. Welfare cuts. Transphobia. Silence and protest. Standing arms. Justifying genocide.
Oh, it's so badass, Jade. I'm upset about her because I used to love Little Mix and I even saw them live. I remember now when Jessie Nelson left the band, she basically got cancelled by the other three because they were determined to prove the fact that she was blackfishing and pretending to be a black woman. She just disagreed with them, so I think maybe she's not woke. Jade also recently headlined at Mighty Hoopla and did a big FU to J.K. Rowling.
I'm gonna name some things or some people, and I want you to shout "fuck you" back to me. Are you ready? Like bad sex, fuck you. Mean touch, fuck you. Misogyny, fuck you. Misogynoir, fuck you. Performative violation, fuck you. Homophobes, fuck you. Transphobes, fuck you. J.K. Rowling, fuck you.
So look, nothing she said is that controversial here, but I just find the point, for example, about welfare cuts. She's obviously exceedingly wealthy and she doesn't understand the public purse, that we're at 100% debt of GDP, that we're signing on 1,000 people a day for long-term sick leave. Now the majority of them for conditions like anxiety and depression. So just this out of touchness, this lack of understanding on how we're living beyond our means. It's just, oh, welfare cuts, bad. Transphobia, bad. This is evil. For me, that's just a bit too much. I just want to hear her sing, right?